America wasn't great under Obama's watch. And I'm gonna get into that. Like a lot of people just America wasn't for a black person. I'm gonna get into all of this. America wasn't great under any presidential watch. It's kind of hard to make a place great when it has been designed to systematically keep us, in a second class citizen rate. So his whole talking about Trump, his whole mantra of his whole slogan, his whole campaign of let's make America great again. The thing was for who? Like America has never been great for us, and people were like this, and then they'll start to point to so many opportunities, and granted, true. You have to get in and start playing the game and taking advantage of those opportunities. But if you're made to, there's no other race that lives in America made to realize that those opportunities don't exist. It takes a strong-willed black man, black woman, right, to actually realize that that's there and let me go get it, despite or in spite of, my current situation, my current surroundings.
Welcome to the Love Is Podcast with your host, that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and her co-host, the lovable a-hole. That's right, I said lovable, Mr. DK Walker, where they will be discussing love, relationships, family, life, sex, self-help, and what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Why? Because love is everything, and everything should be loved. Now to today's podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's your girls, that Thorny Chick, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the lovable asshole, DK Walker. DK, you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
No, we don't have to go find you?
It's no need. I'm always here. Even when you don't see me, I'm here. And no, I'm not Santa Claus.
I was thinking of Jesus.
I definitely won't put myself on that pedestal either. I'm not Santa, I'm not Jesus. I do got God residing in me. Now, when I'm talking about I'm there, I've accessed the ability to tap into your phones and look at you as you look at your phone. But we'll talk about it later. Somebody discovered.
Big brother.
No. What the? Don't tell. You ain't know they. Yeah, it's my new job.
Oh, I mean, DC.
I'm joking. I just put some doggone spyware. I won't say spyware on my daughter's phone. So that gives me big brother capabilities.
Oh Lord, we got to that point now.
I mean, shouldn't all parents?
Yeah. No, but there's just an age where you kind of have to.
Shit, until I'm dead. She can be
Lord. Okay, Don. Okay, Don. Okay.
Whatever. You don't talk about a man like it was a son, it would be different. But there's those my baby. Nah, wherever you at, I'm there. You just don't know I'm there, but I'm there.
Stalker.
My job. No. It's a stalker when you don't know that person. My job is to protect. Right. So it's the job is to so you'll feel the same way, right? When, guy A is old enough to date, right? Whereas their fathers is going to be ain't about nothing, right? But the mother, right. The mother figure is going to look at every female coming through the door, some nappy head hoe. That's not good enough for their baby.
Yeah. Facts. Not for my guy and not for my guy. Definitely not my guy A.
Right. So with that being said, it was not it's the same thing. Don't get me wrong. And people had knocked T.I. when he went through that whole, whatever back in the day about him and his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I understood. I didn't pass judgment. Didn't think it was too extreme. That was their relationship, and unfortunately, America was made privy to it. But I understood, being a father is nobody gives, especially if you got a daughter, because we know what type of guys is out here, right? So you man. As my man would say, you shitting me.
Right. Excuse me. Morning, boys.
Okay.
Listen, I'm trying to get the frog out. I'm sorry. The thing,
stop kissing
frogs. Right. Including the one that I, currently date.
Okay.
But
you called that man a frog. I didn't. I'm just gonna say
listen. I always tell him. I said that to him the other day. I forgot who said something about kissing frogs, and I said, "Oh, I keep trying to turn him into a prince."
See that, and that's the problem. I know we got something we got to get into, but that's the problem. You see how that works out? It was the guy that turned to, and it wasn't the other way around. But you so mannish, you want to turn him into something. Like, come on, man. That's like he be looking at you like, really? I don't even know, dude.
Right.
Haven't yet to have the pleasure of meeting him, but I know once every blue moon he be looking at you side eye. Be like, man, come on now, because you want to turn him into, and it's supposed to be the opposite way around, at least by fairy tale standards.
Right. That's right. One day I'll go back to princess status, but right now, nah. And I just got my hair cut. No, at least give me another week before I come off the bald-headed hoe shit in a relationship status.
Okay,
at least a week. But yes, so today is different than any other episode because we're going to be a little more serious than we normally are with the inauguration happening as of 2 days from now. Today is MLK Day. 2 days from now will be the inauguration, and as all America kind of will take a moment to really some will enjoy the moment, some are going to definitely hate it,
and some will wait with a bated breath.
Yeah. You're gonna find. I think everybody's gonna find themselves in some category of what they feel. Especially this coming off of the very recent raiding, looting, destroying of the Capitol building by our very own homegrown terrorist. So everybody's right now, in a very I don't want to say very sensitive situation, but I think
no. Yeah. Everybody if they're not sensitive, right? Their awareness has been heightened, right? Like we've been aware to the obvious. Now it's so obvious that it can never not be obvious again, right?
Right.
But we'll get into that in a hot second.
Right. So we're going to skip what the fuck news because it's just not, listen, as much as I love the ratchetness and all that kind of stuff, it really is just not appropriate for today. And we're also going to skip our new segment called the Bald-Headed Ho Shit Awards. Again, because it's just not appropriate. It's just not. What we are going to do, however, is share this clip from Eddie Glaude, who was featured on MSNBC as he discussed the Capitol building, the situation at the Capitol building. So we're going to take a listen to that. We do not own the rights to this audio. However, we are definitely borrowing it.
I mean, America's not unique in its sins as a country. We're not unique in our evils, to be honest with you. I think where we may be singular is our refusal to acknowledge them and the legends and myths we tell about our inherent, goodness to hide and cover and conceal so that we can maintain a kind of willful ignorance that protects our innocence. See, the thing is that when the Tea Party was happening, we were saying, pundits, oh, it's just about economic populism. It's not about race. When people knew, social scientists were already writing that what was driving the Tea Party were anxieties about demographic shifts, that the country was changing, that they were seeing these racially ambiguous babies on Cheerios commercials, that the country wasn't quite feeling like it was a white nation anymore. And people were screaming from the top of their lungs, this is not just simply economic populism. This is the ugly underbelly of the country. See, the thing is this, and I'll say this and I'll take the hit on it. There are communities that have had to bear the brunt of America white Americans confronting the danger of their innocence. And it happens every generation. So somehow we have to kind of, oh my God, is this who we are? And just again, here's another generation of babies. Think about it. That 2-year-old had his bones broken by two parents trying to shield him from being killed. A woman who has been married to this man for as long as I've been on the planet almost, lost her husband. For what? And so what we know is that the country has been playing politics for a long time on this hatred. We know this. So it's easy for us to place it all on Donald Trump's shoulders. It's easy for us to place Pittsburgh on his shoulders. It's easy for me to place Charlottesville on his shoulders. It's easy for us to place El Paso on his shoulders. This is us. And if we're going to get past this, we can't blame it on him. He's a manifestation of the ugliness that's in us. I've had the privilege of growing up in a tradition that didn't believe in the myths and the legends because we had to bear the brunt of them. Either we're going to change, Nicole, or we're going to do this again and again, and babies are going to have to grow up without mothers and fathers, uncles and aunts, friends, while we're trying to convince white folk to finally leave behind a history that will maybe, or embrace a history that might set them free from being white. Finally.
So, DK, you want to go in first, or you want me to go in first? Because a lot was said, and I appreciate he hit so many points.
Right. I'm long-winded.
In a short amount of time.
Deep-minded. Yeah. So no. I'm gonna get out the way and let you do what you do. Right.
Right. I love when you could tell when it got serious, because that Baptist clap came in when he was like, "This is." I'm like, "Oh wait." But I like the fact that he was the only black guy on the panel. I like the fact that they picked a very eloquent person to speak. I was really kind of not only listening to him, but watching the panelists and their reaction to him. Again, everybody's very sensitive at this point. What he said, it does make a lot of sense. Like, I think no matter who you are, everybody wants to villainize the current president. And yes, being under the leadership for the last 4 years of the most racist, bigoted human being known to man has been difficult. However, did it heighten certain situations? Absolutely, because it wasn't like he was saying this is not what we should do. He was like, go ahead and do it. I mean, when your campaign slogan is "Make America Great Again," what does that mean? What does that look like? Like, y'all put somebody in an office who you didn't know what he was standing for. And to a certain degree, I don't think anybody cared. My opinion has been and will reside to be this, is that the good old boys were pissed because a nigger was a president for 8 years, and they would be damned if Hillary was going to get it, because they weren't going to live under a bitch. And I said, and that's what I said, and that's what I meant. So to put him in there, and his policy in his head was to eradicate everything Obama didn't make America great again. It just put us back again. And the thing about a presidency is that we keep putting people in office thinking that they're going to come with a Disney wand and, the fairy tale, will just, at midnight, it'll all be all right. No, it doesn't happen. At midnight, you turn back into a pumpkin. So for us to be, unaware that this has been going on forever is kind of astonishing. But I'm sure there's some people who have been like ostriches and had their head in the sand. This isn't brand new. This has been our history. This has been our legacy as America for all eternity. We have not gotten better. We have not progressed in certain areas. If any, we make small steps towards greatness, but not a whole lot. And until it really becomes the American people's dream to live out what MLK says, and for the American people to want a better America, then we will get somewhere. But until then, we're going to keep doing the same rhetoric. We're going to keep speaking the same rhetoric. We're going to still watch, cops kill black people. We're still going to watch white people kill black people. We're going to watch black people kill black people. We're going to continue to value life until we put value to it. Point blank in the period. That's my stance.
Interesting to say the least. Okay. All right. My man got deep, right? I don't want to talk about, the reactions there, the people that was on the panel. And this has been on, this clip that we shared with y'all has been floating around the web for a minute. So 9 times out of 10, this isn't new, but we just thought it was appropriate that we share with y'all on our platform, because we come out every Wednesday at 7:00. So y'all be listening to this episode, actually on the day of the inauguration, right? So we wanted to put that together for y'all, because we really wanted to, and drive home the point, reiterate the point that, Mr. Eddie Glaude was so strong and emphatic about, right? Like, we can't, put this on Donald Trump, no matter what you think about him, no matter what you agree, disagree, no matter if you had your hopes in him, no matter if there was a way to make America great again. And let's keep it a buck, right? America wasn't great under Obama's watch. And I'm gonna get into that. Like, a lot of people just be, America wasn't for a black person. I'm gonna get into all of this. America wasn't great under any presidential watch. It's kind of hard to make a place great when it has been designed to systematically keep us, in a second class citizen rate. So his whole, talking about Trump, his whole mantra of, his whole slogan, his whole campaign of let's make America great again. Like, the thing was, for who? Like, America has never been great for us. And people were like, this, and then they'll start to point to so many opportunities. And, like, granted, true. Like, you have to get in and start playing the game and taking advantage of those opportunities. But, if you're made to, there's no other race that lives in America made to realize that those opportunities don't exist. It takes a strong-willed black man, black woman, right, to actually realize that that's there, and let me go get it, despite or in spite of, my current situation, my current surroundings, right? And so once they get there, then it's like, okay, I'm here. But to the commoner that's left into every ghetto USA that's left there on the corner, they just believe that they're an anomaly. Like, okay, that can't happen to me, right? Whereas this country is built upon white hope. And white people believe no matter how messed up I've been in the past, I can go ahead and achieve whatever I want to achieve because this is my country. Mine. I own it. And that's fucking laughable at best, right? But that nothing points closer to that fact of that mentality of ownership of a country than the actions, last week when, they stormed the Capitol. They stormed the Capitol and they had a couple of fatalities. I think one woman was shot, but everybody else, I think, had a heart attack. Like, the other thing was 5 in total. Numbers could be wrong. Somebody fact check me and get back at me. Not a problem. But one woman was shot, right? But everybody else had a heart attack. Now, of course, the whole thing was, if it was the BLMs, then everybody had been dead. And I would believe that, right? I don't want to get into that bullshit either, right? I just want to get into the mentality of, like, we're going to walk in and nothing's going to happen as a whole. And if that's not a wake up call to the supposed woke people, I don't know what is, right? And please, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do not be misguided, misled, none of that bullshit. Like, this stuff is just, none of this is about race. Like, y'all, it's not about race. Like, race is nothing but a divisive card that's played over and over and over again. None of this stuff is about race. Yep. Like my man said, this is us. Yep. White people for a whole seem shocked and mortified every time something like this becomes, public, right? Because in private, we already know how it gets down. But when it becomes, in public, like, it is what it is, right? But put all that shit to the side. This is not about race. And y'all probably like, how can you, like, when I'm telling you this shit is economics. It's all about money. Like I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I'm trying my best not to. But just how many poor black people that we got in, the inner cities. There's white families in rural America starving just as bad. But what happens is the media doesn't show that, right? They have on white crime that exactly in them same rural areas, right? Because what happens when you take out opportunities out of the areas, out of the inner cities and out of the rural areas, then crime rises. So it's not about race, but that card is going to keep playing, and it's going that narrative is going to be still perpetuated on television. To keep us exactly where we at. And as the listening of this recording, President-elect Biden will be sworn in as president, and then everybody's going to stand and see and hope and pray, like, oh my God, here comes he will be the 46th. Here comes the 46th savior. Look, man, only thing I can advise people, man, is just be smart, stay prayed up. It's just like the times that we're living in now is just really, really, really tricky. Let me take that back. The times that we're living in is uber dangerous. And it's uber dangerous for all parties involved. Like there's so many ways I want to talk but I will be here forever and a day. But I just really want to implore the people and whatnot. Just get smart about you. Get smart about your finances. Get smart about you too can take advantage of the same things or the same system that's designed to oppress us. If you play the game right, you too can be included in at least financially pull yourself out of whatever current situation that you may find yourself in. If you can't do nothing else, please do that. That will give you some buffer, right? Some buffer. And then, of course, once you do that, each one teach one. That's old, but it's also true. You grab somebody by the hand, if they don't want to go willingly, grab their ass by the doggone collar and pull their ass along, right? But we have to draw a line in the sand somewhere and emphatically refuse to have anybody cross that line ever again by any means necessary. And a great place to start is with knowledge and then application of knowledge. Right? Y'all might think I'm all over the place, and for people to get me or people to get what I'm talking about, they can be like, okay, yeah. Right. It's not about race, right? It's not about my man getting sworn in. It's not about, Kamala Harris being, the first, woman of color, vice president. It's not about none of that. So miss me with all those emotions that's attached to that. You will no longer pull my strings because I put somebody that looks like me in a high office. It's not about none of that. What it is about is let me get smart about the game and let me play the game too. Right. And then you hold these people accountable, from the low level politicians all the way up to the higher office. You hold everybody accountable. That's the only thing we can do. That's the only thing that we should be doing and whatnot. And like my man Eddie Glaude said, this had nothing to do with Trump. America has been this way since they came here. America hasn't changed. It's always been this. Nothing's changed. And nothing's not going to change to the people as a whole. The same people that's in doggone the rural areas, the same people that's in the inner city. You know what? I'm tired and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to physically do so. And I'm not talking about physically go change your life instead of just sitting, hoping, wishing, praying. Nothing's wrong with hoping, right? Nothing's wrong with wishing. Nothing wrong with praying. But if you're not working towards none of those things, generational, you'll be hoping, wishing, and praying.
Excuse me again. Like you said, I like the part that you said, just because you put somebody in there who looks like me, and it's, it's all campaigning and slogans. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's not going to make me feel any better at night until real change happens. And that's the end all to be all. Until real change takes place, we're going to be living the same history that was taught to us in school that we're teaching our kids. And, unfortunately for me in my, in my life style, it would be, it being passed on to my grandson. And I hope with all that I am, pray with all that I am, that that's not the case, that between, my generation and his, that some real effective change will happen.
Yeah, and true. And that's what I'm saying, Karen, change starts within the house. And I think that's wrong with people. We keep waiting, right? And it's been, I be trying my best. Look, we keep waiting for this savior. And when I say that, I'm not anti-God. I'm not anti-Jesus. I'm not anti-anything. You keep waiting on what you already are. Whew, I got chills when I said that shit. You keep waiting on what you already are. So if you want change, right? If you want change, then it starts in everybody's households and specifically within the Black community. Educate your kids on the stuff that's going to move the needle so they can effectively navigate the waters of America. And by doing that, the first thing I believe is having a sense of self. Make sure they know exactly who they are and where they come from. That's the first thing and the next thing, make them financially, literate. Because most African Americans, adults, definitely included, we're illiterate. That's come with the biggest consumers, in America. We're the minority, but we're still what a contradiction in his fucking self. We're the minority, but we are the biggest consumers in America. I'm gonna let that, as my man, let me bite him. I'm gonna let that sizzle in your spirit, like my man Country Wayne would say. I'm gonna let that just right there, right? Let that need to sizzle. I take that back. That shit need to burn your soul. We are the minority, but we're the biggest consumers in America. That's kind of crazy. So if we want real change, it starts within the household. How are you educating your kids with finances, right? How are you educating your kids with like entrepreneurship? How are you educating your kids with like, what the schools aren't teaching them? Like, what do you give them that, cause like the school system is a proven factory to produce workers. Like I'm going somewhere, right? The school system is a proven factory to produce workers. So if the school is churning out worker B, like we talking, because you see the memes, right? King and queen, like, okay, that's a great title, right? But what do you own? What can you point to? What have you created that's going to match the title that you gave yourself? So if you just, oh, that's my king, and you saying it because it's a mentality, but there's no work to go behind the mentality. Oh, that's a meme. That's a t-shirt. Like that shit annoys me. Like my wife called me, I'd be looking at like, what? Like, stop. Like, okay, one day I get it right there. I'm not, I know you're doing that to get on nerves. Like, I don't address somebody as king and queen. Like, it's a mentality. But if you're not working towards that mentality, it's just, okay, I think myself this way. Okay, but go from thinking of yourself that way to having the world see you as that way. And you do that by, having self-worth, knowing oneself, and then becoming financially independent. And most doggone entrepreneurs, right? They'll tell you they make more money in time of chaos. It's fact. If you go talk to anybody, right? If you can just look up and down, internet and social media, all these people selling you these courses, whatever the case may be, all these people that's, I don't want to throw no names, but it's what they do. Self-development, like, self-enhancement, right? Like, things of this nature, or, how to trade, whatever. Like, they make the most money because at these point in times, it comes painstakingly clear to America that they need something other than their current one stream of income. Think about that. It should be clear to you, even when the country is not at a visible, because we're always at unrest. But, when we become at a visible unrest, right, then people are like, oh, I need to do something. Oh, I'm waiting on the $600 stimulus check, and that's a fucking joke. Like, oh, I'm waiting. And as long as you wait, as long as you got your hand out, you'll always be at, when I say jump, you be like, how high, master? When I say kneel, should I put my head on the floor too, master? Like, you always be at somebody's beck and call, right? But once you position yourself, to know your worth, and then become financially literate, then you get to play the game a little bit. And trust me, there's so much more that you have to do. But I just want to get somebody the basics to actually start the change, right? Like, if you think about our kids, I can't speak for anybody's kids, right? And it may seem like I'm bragging, and true, but what I'm saying is, if you know my daughter, like, she's scary smart, and not far as, she's really great at books, but far as just putting, two and two together and being able to articulate. Like, my child at her age was 10 times smarter than me when I'm like, and I was a bright kid. I was a fuck up, but I was a bright kid. But to see her in action, so it's only right for me to take that and not let her waste her doggone youth on being young. Like I told her, I said, the first 10 years of your life, daddy loved on you as much as I could. Like I told you, you were beautiful things, like the best thing that you saved my life. Literally, you did. Now it's my job, because I got you through the first 10 of, like, what love is. So you don't have to go on the streets. You don't have to look on social media to be validated, and because you got that within the home. Now the next 10 years of your life, I'm going to educate you. I am going to give you yourself. I'm going to show you how to, this is where you come from, your self-worth, yourself. I'm going to do all that for you, right? So we had a great first 10-year run when we eye to eye. Now I'm going the next 10 years, like, because I'm be cutting into things that she want to do. And she's not going to realize that what I'm going to do now moving forward is for her future, right? And then she's not going to get it till I'm gone. And it's okay. I don't mind being the villain. My job is not to be her best friend. My job is to be the best parent I can be. And I can't take what little knowledge I got and don't give it to her so she can be like, okay, now I'm moving different, right? But that's what we all got to do in everybody's household, not only mine because it's black, right? Same thing for the person that's in rural America, right? Like, the next time you get your hand on whatever case may be, if this doggone podcast just happens the great shit is, and you stand in rural America, and I'm talking to somebody white right now that's like, they use the term, and I don't want to be offensive, like how they label us niggas. There's somebody that the counterpart that is trailer park trash and all this, and hillbillies and rednecks and things of this nature, right? Just get smarter about your situation, right? and learn how to get out of that situation. That's the only thing we got left. Let's stop looking to the government because both parties have failed us miserably. That has never been more evident and clear than what happened when the insurrection on the Capitol. Not the government, don't put that at Trump's feet. The government as a whole has failed the American people miserably. Bottom line, flat out.
Flat out. This is your girl, Seth Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose. I will be watching the inauguration, like everybody says, kind of with bated breath and, with a prayer and, just wanting to see what's going to happen on Wednesday. DK, be safe because you'll be out there amongst the foolishness as you go to your 9 to 5. All I can do is pray for a better tomorrow. DK?
Yeah.
This is your girl, Thorny Chic here.
My bad. I got you. I'm like, it's no, Love Jones of the day. It's just, I think this whole damn podcast was just a Love Jones of the day. But, once every blue moon, we are dead ass serious. Once every blue moon, we come across as somber and not, for whatever reasons, just that's just the pulse of the times that we're living in. And, I can't have this platform. Karen can't have this platform. And we being of the people, not speak for the people. I can't look at myself in the mirror. I don't put myself on a pedestal, but I know that I can't have this and not address what's going on. Like if I can give out all this knowledge and all this whatever that I deem it to be, I may deem otherwise. I deem myself being deep or whatever case. I got to give y'all what I'm seeing, right? I got to give you what I'm saying. If not, I'm just standing idly. Then I become part of the problem because silence is compliance. Like if you see a problem, you're not doing nothing about it, you're not saying anything about it, then you're actually helping the problem to continue to grow. So with that being said, yes, I do work Wednesday by the grace of God. We'll get in. Actually, even they let us in the city. It's crazy. So I'll get in and get out quick, fast, in a hurry. Then I'll be back home, chilling with my family. I doubt if I watch the inauguration at all, I'll probably be working. So most definitely. With that being said, people, man, stay blessed, stay up, and stop waiting on people to change your life. You are the hero that you've been waiting for your whole life. I promise you that.
It's your girl, Seth Thorny Chic, Karen KK Rose, alongside my co-host, the Lovable Asshole, DK Walker. We thank you for tuning in every week. Y'all have been rocking with us heavy for a long time. Some of y'all are new listeners. Help us out by liking, commenting, and sharing wherever you listen, especially on Apple Podcasts. You can find us anywhere on any social media platform via the show notes. If you have any comments, you are more than willing to share them. You can text us at our text number again in the show notes. You guys are the best. You're taking me and DK's voices places our feet have yet to travel, and for that I'm eternally grateful. I love y'all. Go love somebody else. DK, any final word?
Nah, I'm good. Yo, y'all take it easy, man. Be safe. We'll come back to our regular crazy, zany, off the wall antics asses next episode. Peace.
This episode of the Love Is podcast has ended, but please be sure to subscribe for more great content on sex, entrepreneurship, life, love, and how to get through the BS of it all. And don't forget to rate and leave a review so we can continue to bring more of that thorny chick, Karen KK Rose, and, dare I say, the lovable a-hole, Mr. DK Walker. See you on the next podcast.